Doing a sound check. Are you getting sound, Betty? On your computer? Sound check. No sound. So there should be sound. Here we are again. Number 10, backwards, forwards. Episode number 10. We're going to make another risotto. We made a keto risotto earlier. This one is a little different. It's mushrooms. We have a reduced crew size, filming crew size, but very capable crew. Isabella's going to be manning the cameras, and Betty is answering your questions. Any questions? Always feel free to ask. I hope that you did get the few posts that I sent about hydrating your mushrooms. If you're using dry mushrooms, if you're using fresh mushrooms, it does not matter. So I have two here that I've been working with to get hydrated. Before you jump too far ahead, if your mushrooms are hydrated, don't grab that container and pour it out. On the bottom of that container, there's a lot of sediment that you probably do not want to include in your recipe. So what we're going to do is we're going to skim off the top the mushrooms and set them aside so they're ready for us, okay? That's the first step. Second step is we're going to use one or three methods of recovering that water that is so full of flavor. One method will be a fine strainer. The second will be, if you have cheesecloth, to take out more of that sediment. And the last one, which makes it a lot longer because it drips slowly but takes everything out that doesn't need to be there, is a coffee filter. Okay? So I think today I will do the cheesecloth, but I'm going to scoop out the mushrooms first. Okay? So, again, I do not want to disturb the sediment at the bottom. I'm skimming off the top. And I'm getting the mushrooms out without disturbing the water. Okay? I used two different packages. One came from Mapinier online, and they're French. They're French porcini, and they smell awesome. And the second one was a different container. I don't have the paperwork for it anymore. It doesn't look like it looks like it was. Here we go. It was a generic brand. It says Deli Italiana, dried porcini, organic porcini mushrooms. If you do research as you buy your mushrooms, you'll find that a lot of them are not European porcini. They come from different Eastern European countries or even China. I found that the ones from Eastern European countries sometimes have a little bit of a smoky flavor for some strange reason. The French and Italian ones are the traditional flavor that I'm used to, and the Chinese ones, they may be treated with something because they lose a lot of their flavor. So, to each his own. That's the lot funding good porcini. All right, so we're going to use that very flavorful water as part of the broth that we will use to cook the mushrooms. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to double it up, and then I will take the container or the pot that I will use to make my risotto. I am making 2 cups of rice, so I will need 4 to 5 cups of liquid. It can be a vegetable broth that you pre-made. It could be a broth that you make using the porcini mushroom bouillon that I showed you the last time. Can you see that? Is that, Bella, is that in view?
Towards the right. No.
Did that right?
Yes.
Okay. So here we go. That, the broth that you made, or if you want to just be a purist, you can use water. There are plenty of cooks that just use water because they don't want to introduce other flavors than the mushroom that they that will go inside of the. I'm trying to keep that dirt from coming down. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to grab the last couple of porcini. You can see in there, I think, some of that dirt. That's what I was trying to. Can you? Is that in view, Bella?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to avoid getting in there because it can kind of grind. So I think there I have about 3 cups. I'm going to need a little more water. I will add the water now, and I will put it on the stove to warm up because we want the water to be hot when we start making our risotto. I'm guessing that I have 4 or 5 cups in there. I really don't know, but I want to make sure that I end up using all of it because of the flavor. This will go on the stove to start warming up. So, Isabella, how much rice are we making for your vegan rice? You want to make 1 cup, so there will be 2 portions, and we'll save some for you?
Sure.
Okay, we'll make 2 cups for you. So we will not add a lot of water to this. I'm pouring it slowly. Again, I want to try to keep most of the sediment in here or caught by the fine mesh. And I need to stop there so you can see in there is dirt at the bottom. I'm calling it dirt. I'm sure it is. They're mushrooms. They grow in dirt. We don't want to use that in there. She's going to need a little more water, but not too much because it's just 1 cup of rice. If you're using carnaroli or arborio, it's about 2 to 1 volume that people will use. I'm going to be more precise for her because I will cook hers in a.
What heat is the broth / water on?
I just want to warm it up, so I have it on medium because I still have to cook the mushrooms. So I have time. For Bella, I'm going to be more precise because I'm going to show you a different way of cooking the carnaroli. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and that's it. Just 2, okay? The excess I'm going to add to my other one. But for Bella, I'm doing 1 cup of rice. And the way that I'm cooking hers, because I'm sealing the lid, I will need 2 cups of water, okay? So hers, I do not need to heat up ahead of time. That's fine the way it is. Let's get started working on the mushrooms. Anna Maria, if you're doing your vegan mushrooms, what I would like for you to do is to warm your olive oil with some garlic. Okay, so you can use olive oil and garlic in your pan. Bella, I'm going to switch over to the stove if you can follow me over here. Okay. So for the people who are making a smaller portion, it should be pearls. We're going to use this pot right here. Okay? So that will be the ones we're going to use. We're going to put some olive oil in there. Now I have water in there, which you shouldn't have, which is going to, when it starts getting warm, it's going to start splattering a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to take our mushrooms. So these are the one that said Italian on them. So that oil that I have on there, I'm on medium low. I don't want to get it too hot, okay? Because I have water, other things in there. And these are her mushrooms. So this will be Isabella's portion. So that's plenty. I like to keep it coarse so that you get a full flavor. If you're using regular mushrooms, here are some white mushrooms,
Yeah, show it to the camera so it's
mushrooms, creminis.
Yeah, let me
Oh, sorry. I'm back on the, over here chopping. So if you're going to use the cremini mushrooms, the fresh mushrooms, I'm kind of wasteful. I throw away the bottom. I rinse them off. and then I just cut them up like this. Okay, so here, if you're going to use regular mushrooms, I'm going to put a couple of those in there for Bella, just so that she gets a full flavor, or a full complement of mushrooms in her and 3. I'm going to just go 3, and it's enough mushrooms for a cup of rice. Okay. So these are the mushrooms. So we'll go into the vegan. Did I again? I got them switched. I got them switched. I'm going back. That's yours, Bella, right there. This one's mine. I'm using the French ones. Oh, I had it right. I'm going back again. All right. So, what I didn't do for you, Bella, Anna, I did not add the garlic in here. But you can add it in now. It's okay. And you can just use. I'll do it for you right now. I'm going to lower the heat here because it's pretty warm. And if you're just doing 1 cup of rice, Anna and Bella, I'm going to just take 1. But this bad boy, whoop, it went flying. I'm going to crunch it. I can leave the skin on, and I'm going to throw it in there with the mushrooms, okay? I'm going to put this on medium-low. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. And I'm going to let it go for a little bit. On this other side, on this other pot, this is the 2 cups. That's the 4 version, so I'm going to turn the heat on. I'm not going to add garlic to this one over here, okay? So this one has garlic in it. This one will not have garlic for now. I'll show you what we're going to do with that. It's going to be really cool. Medium heat. You can you can wait for it to warm up. You can go right in. You can do whatever you like. I'm going to add a few more mushrooms for the 4-portion version. And there's no secret about how many or little mushrooms you put in there. It's really the flavor. And we're going to get so much flavor out of the porcini that we do not need to add a bunch of mushrooms. I'm going to do it for color because I think it's fun. But you really do not need a whole bunch of them.
Should Anna be heating up her broth right now?
She does not have to heat up her broth because we're going to do hers the 11-minute way.
But
If they're making the traditional way, which is what we will have, we're warming up the broth right there. As a matter of fact, it's already hot. I'm going to turn it on low and just keep it warm over there for myself. So this is the mushrooms that I will use in the risotto that Betty and I will eat. Okay, so I have mushrooms. Going back to the stove. This oil is getting very hot. I need to cool it down before it burns. And the water from the mushrooms will cool it down. Okay, Anna, if you're making 1 cup of rice. Is that okay, Anna? 1 cup of rice? All right, so we're going to use the carnaroli because we think carnaroli is the best rice ever. Comes from around the Vercelli, northern Italy. And we're going to go with 1 cup for her. And we're ready to go in here, okay? We're going to turn the heat down and we're going to go in here. Okay, at this point, we don't want to abandon the rice. Let's stay with it. So we're going to start stirring it. Make sure that it's well coated with the olive oil that we add in there. If we see that there's not enough olive oil, this one looks like it's okay. We can add some more. We want it enough to coat the little rice. What are they? Rice what? Kernels? Huh? Rice grains, okay? So this guy here is going a little fast. I'm going to lower it down so we can focus on Anna's dish. So we already have the flavor that we want out of the garlic, and we can eliminate it. So here we're on medium because we're trying to toast the rice, the grains. How do we know that they're ready? They're going to start becoming a little translucent. A. And B, like this, the back of your finger on top of it. If it's hot, it's done. It's not there. Typically, this process takes about 3 minutes at the most. You don't want to overdo it because if you overdo it, you can actually burn them and then they will not cook at all. Okay? But I'm stirring it continuously so they don't stick and they don't get burned. And that's hot. So we're ready for it. Okay, so for the one for this one here, we're going to add all of it, just like regular rice. We're going to add the full 2 cups. Okay? We're going to bring it back to a boil. We're going to turn up the heat. Bring it back to a boil fairly quickly. As soon as it comes to a boil, we're going to set a timer for 11 minutes. And here's our rice, the one that Betty and I will have. I said 2 cups. Am I going to make 2 cups? I don't know. This sounds like a lot of rice for just Betty and I. Let's see how much rice we have without having to open another one. We got 1 cup. That's not enough. We're going to eat more than that. Okay, Betty, did you find the second one of those cannarolis? Do you remember where you put it? We're going to add a little more rice to this one, okay? The same concept. As soon as we're going to add a little more in here, and then we're going to move it around. Don't let it stick. This one doesn't look as shiny, so I'm going to add a little more olive oil. And you guys have seen this before. My solid because it's a brick of rice that it's vacuum packed. All right, so it doesn't germinate. We break the seal. I'm gonna go 1.5. Are you hungry, Betty? All right. Here we go. And make sure that this one doesn't stick. And on the other one, we're going to go ahead and cover it. I pulled out the lid. And the lid has disappeared on me. I'm going to find it. Thank you.
What's the heat on that?
Which one, Bella?
What's the heat on the vegan one?
The vegan one, now that it's starting to bubble, we're going to put it on low. Lowest setting. And we're going to start a timer for 11 minutes. All right, so I know I'm going fast and I have 2 things going and you guys are getting upset with me because I'm not giving you the time to see, but you can always go back and watch this stuff because it's getting recorded, okay? So you can always go back and then move back forward. So this guy is going to be a more traditional risotto. It looks like it's good, and we can start adding our liquid. So it looks, if I run out of liquid over here, I can always add regular water. I got all the flavor that I wanted out of the mushrooms that were dehydrated and rehydrated. So here we're on the lowest setting, 11-minute timer. We're going to check it at 11. It should be just right. Here I'm on medium. I need it a little hotter because I'm actually going to cooking the rice open without the lid on it, and so a lot of the steam is coming away, and I need to regenerate that heat that is escaping. One little trick, if you run out of hot water, it's not a good thing if you need more hot water. So I'm just going to warm up some water just in case I need it for this rice. I'm keeping the top of this rice just covered with liquid. You can see it. It smells delicious. I have not added any salt either place, and I'm not happy about that because this does require a little bit of salt. I'm not going to go heavy. I'm going to go a pinch of salt in here, okay? Because there's no salt added at this point, and this one is a good time to add salt because there's no salt in the broth, and we want the water that is being absorbed by the rice to be salty, or at least to add some flavor to it when it gets into the rice. One thing that I caution you is not to over salt your broth. What happens to your broth as it sits there and evaporates, it concentrates, and all of a sudden what may be perfect from a saltiness standpoint may become too salty. So you're better off adding your salt here as opposed to your broth, so you can control more the taste that you're going for, okay? So this is a classic risotto. As it starts to dry out, I just add a little bit more of liquid, okay? I just turned on my extra water here. It looked like to me like I was maybe running low on my broth. But we want this to be continuously boiling like that, okay? And we're going to keep an eye on it. The flavor is already intense. The porcini mushrooms are just amazing. I'm very happy about that find from the ones from Mapanier online. The French ones, they really had a special aroma to them. All right. This is where I'm going to break with tradition, and I'm going to have wherever the Italians are watching start screaming and yelling, because what I will do is I'm going to introduce towards the end of my risotto some cream into it. Italians don't cook with cream. They use the butter, but they don't cook with cream. But the way we're going to do it is very different, because what we will do is, you notice that we use the garlic in the vegan risotto in the beginning. We have no garlic in here, and garlic multiplies the flavor of the mushrooms. It makes them so much more flavorful. But we want to do it in a way that is not offensive, in a way that the garlic just becomes part of the dish as opposed to overwhelming it. I will take 3 garlic cloves, and I will take out the germoglio, the germ that is growing inside, to make sure, because that's supposedly the part that people don't digest well. And we're going to poach them in a little bit of the heavy whipping cream, okay? So this is going. Looks like it's getting a little bit dry, so I can add some more of my liquid. I'm keeping a low heat on this to keep it on the liquid, to keep it warm. I didn't toast this probably as far as I needed to. I can tell because they're taking a little longer to absorb the water, but it's doing great. That will give us a chance to work on the garlic. And since I'm going to move over there, I don't want to forget what's going on here Gonna turn it to medium low under the risotto. And Bella, can you chase me over here? Oh, Aperol Spritz is so good. So I've been drinking Negronis now for a little while and I'm very much enjoying, but it's a much more intense drink than what I was introduced to, which probably you guys already know I've had, but it was not something that I've been making at home, is the Aperol Spritz. So Aperol Spritz, you need Aperol, you need the gin, you need Aperol, and a little bit of club soda, and of course Prosecco. Okay, so this is a very refreshing drink. This is a summer drink. Nope, just warming up some water, Bella, so that if I need more water, I have it ready. So 1, 2, 3. Betty, do you want to make me the Prosecco, or are you too busy answering questions? I'll give you the proportions. All right, so with this garlic, we're gonna hit it once. We're gonna cut the back to make it easier to peel. And the peel should come right off if we hit it hard enough, which looks like I didn't. Yeah, I did. Looks good. All right, so it's 1 part Aperol. So remember what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut down the middle to see if there is a germ going in there, and there is one in here. We're going to take that out. We don't want that in there. There it is. 1. And then on the other side, same thing. I'm making a big knife small by holding it down here. So that's 1. Let's check on the rice real quick. You don't have to switch cameras, Bella.
1 part Aperol, then those.
3 parts. 3 parts of your. Nope. Prosecco. 2 parts, 1 to 2, sorry. 2 parts Prosecco. 1 part Aperol, 2 parts Prosecco.
Matteo says no gin.
No gin. I was wrong about the gin. A splash of club soda.
And I didn't make enough.
I was wrong about the gin. I bet because you don't have a ton of ice in there. And then this. All right, so we're getting distracted. I'm gonna check. Keep an eye on your rice. Make sure that it's covered. You should be starting to absorb your liquid. I'm gonna add some more liquid to it because I want to always make sure that it is covered in liquid. Okay? I don't want the top to get dried out. And I did 1 piece of garlic. I'm gonna go to my next piece of garlic here. Same process. I'm not gonna be big knife guy, I'm gonna be the regular knife guy. Cut it down the middle, see if there is, and there is a big germ right there. There we go.
There you go.
Thank you, Betty.
Willie said, look at you, Stefano, using the Maddie Kim 1 to 2 method.
Yeah, it is. It is. Thank you, Maddie, for setting me straight on the ratio. I know the ones you made for me yesterday were awesome. All right. So this is the garlic that we're going to use in the risotto. So in separate pan, small non-stick pan, we're going to put the garlic and the whipping cream, and we're going to let that on very low heat just simmer to soften up the garlic, just like we soften up the garlic in the olive oil, right? So kind of the same process. So a small.
Are you using the top? Are you using the top?
Yeah, and I'll be at the cooktop, Bella. I'm gonna switch over to me over here. Here we go. So,
Really quick, bartender Mateo would like us all to know that his recipe, or what he would probably consider the correct recipe for an Aperol Spritzer: ice, 3 ounces, 1 part Aperol, 3 ounces, 1 part dry Prosecco, and 1 ounce splash of club soda or unflavored sparkling water. I'm sure either way you make it, it's very yummy.
all right. So I'm gonna see if I lied to you or not. What did I say? 1/4 cup of cream in my instructions to you? I think I said a 1/4 cup.
Giovanni's on now, so he's gonna tell you it's wrong.
He's gonna tell me his version. Everybody's got their own opinion. So, such opinionated Italians. I'm gonna go. That's probably enough. I'm gonna go a little more. I'm gonna go like that, and then we're gonna let that on low, very slowly poach. All right. So that's the only thing that I have to be careful not to mix for the vegans is my little porch garlic. So this risotto is starting to look good. I'm gonna hit back to medium. That beeping that you heard was this cannaroli over here. Isabella, can you give me your vegan substitute butter? All right, so yours, Bella, looks like, when I checked it, it looks like the rice needs salt, so I'm going to go ahead and salt it. But it looks beautiful, and it looks cooked. Here we go, right? Mm-hmm. Still very, so we turn it off, we let it rest a couple of minutes. Just let it sit there and rest, okay, Anna? My cream here I don't want to burn, so I just turn it down.
The one that's finished is just the vegan one. You can ignore it if you're not making a vegan one.
I want to make sure that I cook the garlic. I don't want the garlic to be uncooked, because this is the whole beauty about this little variation, is that the garlic is mellowed out by cooking in that cream. I need to go to multiple utensils since I have the cream there. So let's see how the risotto is going. All right, this risotto is almost perfect. It needs a little more salt. And this is where I'm going to hit it with the pepper. Which I'm not done on onions yet. And I'm going to go heavy on the pepper because I love pepper with the mushrooms. I'm going to turn it on low because he's actually getting away from me. He's getting really cooked and really cooked well. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit more water because I want it to be a londa. I want it to be moving, right? See that? And this one is also ready to be covered and rest. So when we're resting it, we're allowing it to drop in temperature. Okay, so it's dropping in temperature before we add the butter and the Parmesan cheese. If it's too hot, then the butter will just turn to grease. We want the butter to turn into a creamy risotto. We want a creamy risotto, right? It's going to sit here for a minute. So this one has been sitting here for a while. We're not going to add any cheese to theirs, but we will add their substitute. They already have the garlic flavor in there. The only thing that this one is missing is the black pepper and the parsley.
I
We're gonna,
love black pepper.
you do like black pepper, Bella? So we'll go with black pepper in there. Let's be sure to just add the parsley at the end. Parsley is so much better when it's cold and not cooked up. The flavor is more intense and it adds freshness to the dish, okay? So I'm gonna go over here to this side. And Bella, do you want to be over on the, gonna rinse off the parsley. In this case, we're not going to use the stems. Remember how we use the stems to flavor the olive oil for other sofriti, for other things that we made? In this case, I'm just grabbing the leaves at the top, pinching the leaves off, and leaving the stalks there. So for the quantity of rice in the small pot, I need to check, make sure that I have all my burners off, right? Except for the cream. Off, 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 off. Cream. So the garlic should feel softer when you put your fork into it. If it doesn't, then cook it a little longer, okay? So I'm going to put it on medium low to cook. I'm going back and forth now, sorry, Ben.
Should I just put it on one?
Oh, you can. You can just leave it on the big one. Or you can leave the big camera on the big one and the detail camera probably on the... So when you use your knife, little reminder. So here I am, I'm chopping, and the temptation is to go and scrape this back together. Don't do that. You're going to end up ruining the edge on your knife. So if I chop and it gets spread out, you turn and you use the back of the knife. And that will prevent your edge from getting dull, okay? If it does just get bent because you went the wrong way, then it is possible that just a couple of hits on your iron will get the edge back straight, but not necessarily. You may have to go through your sharpening process again. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring it back together, right there. And because I really like the flavor of the parsley, I'm not going to chop it too harsh. I'm going to leave it a little coarse, okay? My cream is going like crazy. I'm done here. I'm going to turn off the cream. And I'm going to finish Anna's rice, okay? Anna's rice will have, or Isabella's rice.
Both of our rice.
Both rice. A nice dollop of this, what I'm thinking is probably some kind of margarine, right? It's a vegan butter. And the rice is cooled down. I'm going to whisk it. I don't think I added the black pepper for you, Bella, yet. This would be a good time to taste this rice. Oh, you're gonna love it. All right, parsley will go in there. We finished whisking it. Now, if you're eating this rice in northern Italy, I'll show you how they played it, okay? They played it a little differently. They like the rice to sit very flat inside their dish, okay? So they will take a flat or flattish dish, They will pour their rice in the middle. And you can see how it's still moving around. And then they will hit it on the bottom.
Towards the wall. There you go.
And they will spread it out like that. That's how they played it. The Northern Italians, which are really the people that know about rice, I guess. And on this one, I'm going to do something special for them. So you can see that's a beautiful risotto for Isabella. This rice is still resting here. I'm coming back to it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That rice is plenty happy, staying warm in there. What I have here is some dehydrated beets. And it's earthy flavor, goes awesome with the porcini. So on this side of the dish, this rice will have the dehydrated beets. I'm going to show it to you one more time. Is the camera focusing, Bella?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, so that's Isabella's mushroom risotto the vegan way. Let's finish ours on the other side. Here we have the cream with the garlic. We're going to take a container and we're going to take our immersion blender. Okay, so here's my immersion blender. This is above and beyond. What you have in there is a perfect rice that just needs the butter and the Parmesan cheese. This is an extra step that if you're willing to come along with me on this journey, I will show you what can happen. Okay? So here's my cream of the garlic in here. Here's my immersion blender. And this is what we're going to finish our risotto. So our risotto has been resting in there. It's a little drier than I like, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. It's perfect. And here we go. We need our butter. Okay, do I need to be truthful and just put the butter that I said I was going to put in there? If I can find the butter. But I know we have sticks of butter in there somewhere. If you want to locate that, if you can find the butter for me, I will get the Parmesan cheese.
How much?
I think I told people that I was going to use 6 tablespoons. Should I be truthful? Yeah. Let's see what it's going to... Oh, wow. Very good apple spritzer, but it is missing my orange. All right, here we go. The word for this process is called mantecare. That's the Italian way of saying it, I guess. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And Parmesan cheese. I'm not going to go through my Parmigiano Reggiano and grating it because I've already taken too long to go through this process. So I'm just going to add my Parmesan cheese right here. Okay? I think about half a cup maybe. And we'll use some of the rest later. And again, now we want to create that cream let the butter slowly incorporate with the starch from the rice and create the risotto that we all love. Don't be shy in there. Don't be shy. Go ahead and turn it until all that butter is melted in there. Okay? I want to check it for salt. I'm going to check it for pepper. I like the saltiness. I think I want a little more black pepper. Going to add just a little bit more water to make it a little more creamy. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so what are we missing? We are missing the secret ingredient. Taste it with a spoon. Make sure that you are agreeable to this amount of garlic. Okay? I don't think this is very strong, and I love garlic. So I'm going to put 2 spoons of this in there. I'm going to mix it, and then I'm going to decide what I want to add the rest of it. Okay? So this is truly going to change this risotto and make it something special. The little cream with the garlic. The flavor now is going to be totally different. It's so good. It is so good. Then I'm going to go by the sink to get my parsley ready. Betty, you may want to start thinking about edging towards the table. What did I say? I like it a little coarse.
So this is Bella?
That's Bella. You are next. Back to the cooktop, Bella.
Keeping me on my toes?
Yep. I need you over here. Okay. So I'm gonna plate Betty. Are we gonna go the traditional Northern Italian way? I think we should, because this risotto is traditional, but with a twist of that whipping cream and garlic. Okay, we're gonna go in the middle. And then we're going to hit it to get all that cream on the bottom, and the grains will stay on top.
A little more virtual again.
All right, so we're hitting it, all the grains on top, all the cream on the bottom. And we have the luxury of being able to use Parmesan cheese, so we will. All right, here's a plate of risotto ai funghi porcini for Betty. This is going straight to the table. I want to know what people are. Who's following, who's not following? Does their mushroom look creamy like this?
I don't know if people are making it, they have enough notice.
We have a lot of people watching, but we have a lot of people who are also gonna make it tomorrow because they didn't have it.
Because are they watching us like at the zoo? Or-
You were pokey getting it posted this week.
I was pokey getting it posted. But I'm making myself a big serving of my rice. look at this. Okay?
Anna said she's letting her rest, hers rest before she adds the butter.
Awesome. And this is
Oh,
my plate.
no beets?
Yeah, she has the beets on hers. We want to go and say goodbye to everybody. And make sure nobody has got questions first. I'm going to wait the 10 seconds or whatever delay we have to be sure that there's no questions that we need to answer.
Right.
I made a mess in this kitchen, didn't I? I was moving around, doing things on the fly, doing 2 kinds of risottos at once. Hope you get a chance to make this risotto if you've not made it tonight. We love mushroom risotto. It's one of our favorite dishes. It's a little bit more of a winter dish, but I guess we can break tradition. Thank you for joining us. I didn't see everybody that was on. I'm sure that I should be saying hello to somebody and I haven't. So I'm going to say hello to everybody. And we will see you, if not next week, the week after. Thank you, everybody. Smells really good, buddy. It is
Are we not?
yummy.